Good evening and welcome to Yoga Fundamentals with Bettina with Believable Prana Yoga and Wellness for the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism with the City of Newport News. So, Yoga Fundamentals, we're going to break down some yoga postures tonight. Last time we went over the sun salutation, so hopefully you remember that, and we broke down the chaturangas a little bit. We did some work with our chaturangas. Today we're going to work on our hips and kind of really focus on placement of our hips as it pertains to your warrior two, as well as your extended side angle. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's come to a comfortable seated position, however you feel comfortable. If you ever have any questions, comments, feel free to post them in the chat menu and we will definitely take a look at those. And if you ever have any questions about anything in particular, any alignment or posture questions, any questions about the asanas, feel free to post those as well. Great, so let's go ahead and come to a comfortable seated position, however you feel comfortable. Whether you're sitting in an easy posture, kind of crisscross applesauce, if you're sitting in a cobbler's pose here, if that's comfortable for you, whatever works. Let's just make sure both your sits bones, both your bottom bones are connected to the ground. Sit up nice and tall. Feel as though I'm lifting you up by string through the crown of your head. Let's lift the shoulders up and just drop them back, allowing for our chest to be open. Really engaging your core so that way you sit up nice and tall. I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. But feel your breath come all the way down your trachea, deep down into your abdomen, into your diaphragm, into that belly. See if you can really expand your ribs, expand your diaphragm, like a balloon. Breathing in, breathing out. So although we will have pauses in our class, breaking down the fundamentals of these different postures, of these different asanas, this is still time for you to come to your mat, to come to your floor, and find some self-care. Taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, adding some movement, some flexibility, sitting up just a little bit taller. Let's inhale, reach both arms up high to the sky. Gaze can come up if you choose. Palms down, exhale, press back down to the ground. Good. Inhale, reach both arms up high to the sky, palms up, facing up. Gaze may come up as well. Exhale, palms down, press down. Good. One last time. Inhale, reach both palms up, high to the sky. Hands together. Exhale, your hands to heart center. Good. Let's press your thumbs into your chest, into your sternum. Let's begin to set an intention for our practice. That could be a thought, a prayer, maybe a sentence or a mantra that you would like to say to yourself. I always like to have some self-belief, some self-encouragement. Maybe you want to finish this phrase, I am, and then fill in the blank. Let's sit here with that intention. Good. Let's begin to seal that intention with 2 cleansing breaths. Inhale deeply through your nose. Exhale through your mouth, side out. Inhale deeply again through your nose. Exhale through your mouth, side out. Good. Adding some twist. Inhale, reach both arms up high to the sky. Exhale as you twist it open to the right, reaching both fingertips long, and then extending your hands down to the ground. Nice gentle twist. Good. Inhale, reach both arms high to the sky, come through center. Exhale as you twist it open to the left, reaching your arms long, fingertips long, and then reaching them down towards the ground. Inhale, reach both arms through center, twist back through center. Exhale, twist it open to the right one more time. Arms long, and then reach fingertips down. Perhaps twisting a little deeper, if you like. You know how your day was. You know what your body may need, how it feels in your body. So go as deep as you choose, as is comfortable. Pulling your belly button into your spine as you twist. Good. Coming back through center. Inhale, reach both arms to center. Exhale, twisting open to the left, reaching fingertips and arms long, and then releasing down to the mat, down to the ground. Doing the same thing on this left side that you did on the right. So if you twist it deeper, feel free to find that. Feel free to go there. Continuing to breathe. In through that belly, and out through that belly. Good. Releasing the twist. Inhale, reach both arms to center. Exhale, your hands down to your sides. However you're sitting, go ahead and switch your legs out. So if your right is in front, switch so that way your left is in front and vice versa. If you're sitting in like a cobbler's pose or like a butterfly or a bound ankle pose, feel free to just stay here if that's comfortable for you. Opening up our hips a bit. Inhale, reach both arms high to the sky, palms facing me. Exhale as you hinge forward with a nice long flat back. I'll show you from the side. You're reaching up nice and long and then hinging. So I'm not curving my back here. If anything, I'm finding length. Trying to pull this belly button into your spine. Pressing through both feet, both hip bones. Sit up nice and tall. Release your hands down to your sides. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach both arms up high. Exhale, hinge, reach your fingertips out nice and long as though you're going to touch my fingertips through the camera. I will tell you, I do have a guilty habit of kind of arching my back. So if you do that, really try to pull that belly button into your spine so you can have a nice flat back, including your neck. Your neck is part of your back, so make sure you're nice and long. Good, we've held it. Let's inhale as we rise back up. Exhale your hands down to your sides. Switching your legs out again. Going to go a little deeper. Inhale, reach both arms up high. Exhale as you hinge, reach far, reach far. See if you can keep your ears in between your biceps. Inhale as you rise back up. Exhale your hands down to your sides. Last time. Inhale, reach long. Exhale as we hinge. If you feel a little bit more open in your hips on one side versus the other, that's fine. Inhale, rise back up. And release. Good. The reason why I say that's fine is because we understand that we're not totally symmetrical. So one hip may be a little bit more open than the other. Just see if you can work where you can work. Okay? So if that tighter hip is giving you a little bit of problems, don't force it. Just go as far as that tightness will let you. And then eventually try to relax it, try to coax it into where you would like it to go. Alright? So that way it can be more symmetrical with the other side. Let's come to our tabletop position on our hands and knees, making sure that our knees are hips width distance apart. So that's about 2 fists, like I always say. You should be able to look between your legs and your feet disappear. So you see, my feet are together, you can see them. But when I make sure they're in line with my knees, they disappear. Coming to your hands, make sure your hands are directly underneath of your elbows. Elbows are underneath of your shoulders. Now, for some of you, you could have some wrist sensitivity here. Maybe that means coming to a fist. That's perfectly fine. Maybe that means really activating your fingertips. Sometimes people come to all fingertips. If you have the hand strength to do so, then feel free. However, I don't necessarily recommend doing this all of the time. If you're able to place that heel of your hand, this heel here, down on the ground, really try to engage those fingertips so that way you're not sinking all of your weight into the heel, but rather activating those fingertips as well. In person, I frequently tell my class to imagine as though you have a half-boiled egg underneath of your hand, or as though you're gripping or palming a basketball. See if you can palm your mat or palm the floor. Coming to our tabletop position. Let's begin to walk our fingertips off to the side. So we're going to walk our fingertips so that way the heels of our hands will face each other. So if you have a mat, walk them to the side of your mat. If not, then just walk them to either side of the room. Feel free to stay here. Or if you like, begin to walk your fingertips all the way around so that way fingertips face your knees, heel of your hand faces me. If this does not feel good, do not do it. It's perfectly fine. Go where your body allows you to go. Go where it feels comfortable for you. Holding here for a few more breaths. Let's begin to walk our fingertips back all the way around. So fingertips are going to walk all the way back around, either facing the top of your mat or facing the same direction that you're looking. All right, let's flip our palms over. So flip the right palm over. Fingertips will face your knees, heel of your hand will face me. From the side, it will look like this. Okay? And as though you're picking up a tissue in reverse, squeeze all of your fingertips together and then flatten them down. Good. So you're going to use this other hand for support. Use your right hand for support. Squeeze all of your fingertips together and then flatten them down. Squeeze your fingertips together and flatten them. Last time, squeeze them together and hold. Add as much or as little pressure here as you like. If it's too much for you to keep it on the ground, feel free to lift it off the ground. And then release. Palm faces back down, fingertips face forward. Good. I like to say stir your cake batter, so go ahead and make a fist and rotate your wrist to the right or to the left. And then reverse. Finding the same thing on the other side. Let's go ahead and flip that right palm over. Fingertips face your knees. Palm faces the sky. Squeeze all 5 fingertips together. Flatten them out. Squeeze them together. And flatten them out. Squeeze together. Flatten them out. Last time, we're going to squeeze together and hold. So we're holding. Again, if it's too much to put your weight on this wrist, feel free to lift it off the ground. You can also bend this elbow if it's more comfortable for you. And release those fingertips down to the ground. We'll flip that palm back over. Stirring your cake batter with the right hand, go ahead and make a fist. And find circles to the right or to the left. And then reverse. Good. Placing the palm flat on the ground, let's extend the right leg back, nice and long, all 5 toes on the ground. Press through that heel, really lengthen that Achilles. And return the right knee to meet the left, other side. Extend the left leg all the way back, all 5 toes on the ground. Press through that heel and that Achilles. And return the left to meet the right. Inhale here, exhale as you sit both hips down to the ground, forehead comes down to the mat as you come to your child's pose. In our child's pose, let's begin to walk both hands over to the right side. Sit your hips over to the left, really getting a nice deep side body stretch. If you're able, take this left hand and place it on top of the right, if that's comfortable for you. If it's not, don't worry. You don't have to do it. And walk both hands back through center and center those hips again. Finding the other side, walk both hands over to the left side. Sink those hips over to the right. Again, on this side, if you like, take that right hand, place it on top of the left. If it's comfortable. On your next inhale, begin to walk both hands back towards center. And center those hips. Alright, if you know me, you know where we're going. From our child's pose, we're going to come up to our downward facing dog, keeping your hands right where they are, keeping your feet right where they are. Let's begin to tuck our toes. Inhale here as you tuck your toes. Exhale, lift your hips high to the sky, downward facing dog. Begin to pedal this dog out. Bend on your right and your left. Knees, ankles, Pressing your chest back towards your thighs. Trying to keep your ears in line with your biceps. Pressing away from the ground through your entire hand and engage those fingertips. Coming through center, then straighten both legs, release both knees down to the ground, and return to your child's pose. I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to change position so you can see. With our arms extended out nice and long in front of you. Inhale as you tuck your toes. Exhale, lift your hips high to the sky, downward facing dog. Press those heels down towards the ground as best you can. They may not touch, and that's perfectly fine. Begin to pedal your dog out, bending your right and your left knees, ankles. Walking your dog. Relaxing your back as you press your chest towards your thighs. Lower both knees down to the ground. And let's sit up for a second. So just breaking down a little bit of the downward facing dog. What do I mean by relaxing your upper body, relaxing your back, while still pressing your chest towards your thighs? So what I mean by this is from our downward facing dog, sometimes people can really have intense upper body. See how my shoulders are really close and tight beside my earlobes? So I want to relax my shoulders. I'll do that again. My earlobes and my upper body are really tight, and it's actually causing me to curve my upper body. Coming to the side, see my earlobes and my upper body are very relaxed. are very tight. Tight here. So from here, I want to relax my upper body and then press my chest back towards my thighs. I'm still engaged here, still pretty strong here as I'm pressing through my fingertips and my entire hand. I'm engaging my heel, the heel of my hand as well. But I'm finding length, and I'm really pushing away from the ground. Okay? Good. From here, let's return to our child's pose. We're going to come to that downward facing dog one more time. And see if you can relax your shoulders away from your earlobes. All together. Let's inhale as we tuck our toes. Exhale, lift your hips high to the sky, downward facing dog. Option if you choose, yogi's choice. You can pedal out your dog, or you can just remain still. Whatever you do, see if you can really press away from the ground through those hands. See if you can relax those shoulders, so that way they're not by your earlobes. See if you can press that chest towards your thighs. Good. From here, let's bend our knees. Look up towards your hands, and just like we're a toddler, slowly begin to walk your feet up to meet your hands. Bending your knees as much as you need to. Walking towards the top of our mat, or just seeing if we can get our feet in line with our thumbs. Relaxing your head down to the ground, bend your knees as much as you need to. Coming into our deep forward fold or our rag doll. Just let your upper body hang. Good. From here, let's inhale as we halfway lift, nice and slowly. Remember to find length in the back of your neck as well. Feel as though you're a turtle, lengthening your neck and lengthening your spine out of your shell. Almost pressing your bum back towards the wall behind you. Inhale here, exhale as we forward fold. Bend your knees as generously as your body wants. Finding that again, let's inhale as we halfway lift. Exhale as we forward fold. Going to turn to the side. Last time, let's inhale as we halfway lift. Remember, hands can be on your shins. They can be above your knees, never ever on the knees. Or if you have the flexibility and the length in your hamstrings, calves, lower back, feel free to bring your hands to the floor. Just remember to find length in the back of your neck as well, as that is an extension of your spine. Good. From here, let's bend your knees generously. Spin those palms out to the side, flatten your back, pressing through both feet as though you're on an elevator. Let's inhale as we rise up to standing ever so slowly. Move slower. Move slower than you think you should. And then stand up, reaching both arms overhead, nice and tall, nice and long. And then exhale your hands down to your sides. Good. And face here. So I'd like for you to move even slower than you think you should, especially when rising from the floor, because we were in an inversion, meaning our heads were lower than our heart. So a lot of blood was rushing forward. Let's come through those sun salutations. All right. Let's inhale as we lift both arms up high to the sky. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale as we forward fold all the way down. Nice deep swan dive. Bend those knees if you choose to. Inhale as we halfway lift. Exhale, plank the hands, large step back, right leg, left leg, plank. Remember, you always have the option to drop these knees if you choose. I will drop my knees. Squeezing your elbows into the sides as lower down all the way down to the ground. Untuck those toes. Pressing the tops of your feet into the mat as you squeeze your elbows in. Peel your chest off the ground. Coming into your baby cobra. Remember, cobras don't have hands, so you should be able to play patty cake. Inhale here, exhale as you push all the way up and back to your downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look up towards the top of your mat or your hands, and walk your feet up to meet your hands. Flatten your back, spin both palms towards me. With a nice flat back, inhale as you reverse swan dive. Leading with the heart, option to press the heart up like a Care Bear, or just lengthen your spine. And let's exhale our hands to heart center. Doing that again. Let's inhale, reach both arms up high. Leading with the chest, option to find the back bend as you press the heart up. Exhale as you swan dive forward, a nice forward fold. Inhale as we halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, left leg, right leg, step back into your plank. Option to drop these knees. Option to lower down all the way from your plank. Pressing the tops of your feet into the mat. Inhale as you peel your chest off the mat. Inhale here, exhale. Press all the way up and back into your downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look at the top of your mat or your thumbs, and walk your feet up to meet your hands. From here, bend your knees slightly. Flatten your back, spin your palms towards me. Inhale as you rise for a reverse swan dive. Leading with the chest, option to find that back bend. Exhale your hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, reach both arms up high. Leading with the chest, find the back bend. Exhale as you swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Right leg, left leg, plank. Option to add the chaturanga if you choose. Gonna tip forward. Lower down halfway as you squeeze those elbows into your sides. Using your toes, press forward, coming into your upward facing dog, or cobra, if you prefer. And then press up and back into your downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look at the top of your mat. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. And reverse swan dive. Option to lead with the chest and find the back bend. Exhale your hands to heart center. Last time. Inhale, reach both arms up high. Lead with the chest, find the back bend. Exhale as we swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, left leg this time. Coming into our plank. Tipping forward if we come to our chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing dog. Exhaling back for downward facing dog. Let's pause in our downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Coming back to the intention that you set for yourself. Remembering to breathe in through this belly. Good. Last breath. Bend your knees, lift up towards the top of your mat, and walk your feet up to meet your hands. Now reverse, swan dive. Good. Option to find the back bend. Exhale your hands down to your sides, returning to your mountain pose. Breathing here in our mountain pose. Now we're going to start to open up our hips. So from here, I want you to take your right foot, step it back, not a large step, but about a 3/4 step. Keep this left knee bent. From here, we're going to take this heel and spin the heel down, about 20 degrees. I'm going to turn around and show you. So I'm standing at the back of my mat, but at the top of my mat for you. Standing in my mountain pose, I'm going to take my right leg, step it back. Not a major step, not a huge step, but about 30%. I'm going to take this right heel and spin it down, keeping this left knee bent. This is lining us up for our warrior one. Okay? So I'll come back to the top of the mat. Let's do this together. Coming from our mountain pose, you're going to take your right leg, step it back. Good. Spin that heel down about 30 degrees. Keeping this left knee bent, make sure that left knee is in line with that pointer and that middle toe. Make sure your toes on your right foot are in line with your knee. Okay? So that's really important. Make sure your knees are in line with your toes. As best you can, see if you can keep these hips facing me for your warrior one. If this is too much, feel free to take this left leg and you can heel toe it out to give yourself more wiggle room with your hips. Okay? Let's inhale, reach both arms up high to the sky. See if you can almost kind of push those hips forward. If that works for you. If it doesn't, then feel free to come up a little higher. Or if you want a little bit more, then bend that left knee a little more. Good. Pressing into both feet. Inhale here, exhale your hands out to a T. So this is a hip opener. We are opening up our right hip right now. Good. From here, keeping both arms extended out, we're going to step this right foot forward. So inhale as you step your right foot up and forward. Release your hands. We're going to do the other side. Stepping this left leg back, and step the left leg back. And then spin this left heel down. Again, making sure you try to keep these hips facing me. You need to heel toe that right foot out to the side, feel free. See what's comfortable in your hips, okay? Sometimes in yoga people think, oh, I just have to get there and stay. No, work with whatever, whatever feels good to you. All right, so from here, let's inhale as we reach both arms up. Now, I'm not physically with you, so pay attention to your body. Where is this right knee tracking? Is it in line with your pointer and your middle toe? What about this left knee? Is it in line with those toes? Is it facing the same direction? Because you're opening up this left hip. Good. Wherever you are, inhale here, exhale, arms out to a T. Good. Pulling that belly button into your spine. Try not to lean forward. Activate. Be strong in your stance, in your warrior one. Good. Stepping this left leg up to meet the right. Let's inhale as you step the right, left, up to the right. And release your hands down to your sides. I know I'm confusing my left and my right tonight. It's okay. Adding on. Let's inhale as we reach both arms up high to the sky. Exhale as you take the right leg, step it back. Spin that heel down. Push those hips forward. Warrior one. Good. Option to bring your arms out to a T if you choose. Creates a little bit more balance. And on your next inhale, begin to lift the right leg up and step the right leg forward to meet the left. Release your hands down to your sides. Good. I'm going to do the right side again. I'm going to turn to my side so you can see. Turn to this side. Good. So from the top of your mat, I want you to inhale, reach both arms up. Take the right foot, step it all the way back. It's about 3/4 of the way. Spin that heel down. Good. So you don't have to have heel to heel alignment here. Because remember I said whatever works for your hips. So I want you to also see where my hips are, where my belly is. Really trying to push my hips forward so that way I'm not leaning forward. Good. If I need to come up, if this is too much on your right leg, then feel free to straighten that left leg just a little bit. We're not coming to a pyramid. We're actually having a bent front leg. Good. Stepping the right up to meet the left. On your inhale, begin to step up. And exhale your hands down to your sides. Good. Let's do the other side. Coming to the left leg. Inhale, reach both arms up high. Exhale as you step the left leg back. Spinning on that ball, send that heel down. Breathing here. Still expanding your ribs, expanding your belly. Not breathing in through these shoulders. Let the shoulders just relax. The shoulders tend to have the weight of the world on them, so just let them relax. Good. Stepping the left up to meet the right. Option again to bring your arms out to a T if you choose. And inhale as you step the left up to meet the right. Release your hands down to your sides. Good. Finding that again. Inhale, reach both arms up high. Exhale as you step the left leg back. And then spin that heel down. Seeing if you can get those hips nice and square. You can push those hips forward. Kind of tuck that bum under, really engage that core. Good. From here, let's begin to inhale as we step the left foot up to meet the right, and release your hands down to your sides. Awesome. Now we're going to come into a warrior two. Now some classes will have you transition from a warrior one to a warrior two. I personally don't do that. Reason being, where is your body going? This back foot has to turn. So in a warrior one, this foot is turned out at an angle, 20, 45 degree angle. It's not parallel to the back of your mat. It's not in line with the back of your mat. However, in warrior two, it is. So from our warrior two, we actually change our hip placement. We have to lift this foot up. Ideally, you will spin on your heel and place it down, so that way it is aligned with the back of your mat. Let me show you in reverse. So in warrior one, see where my foot is? It's about 45 degrees. My right foot is about a 45 degree angle. My knee is in line with my toes. My hips are trying to be as straight as possible. And my left leg is in line with my pointer and my index toes. So from here, from warrior one, as I open up to my warrior two, this leg is just naturally going to stop me. So I have to lift it up and open it, bringing it parallel to the mat. Okay? But unless your hips are super open, you may need to kind of heel toe this front foot forward. So you won't necessarily have heel to heel alignment. Maybe if you were, a ballerina and since, birth kind of thing. But not everyone has that ability to really open up their hips. If you can lie in a frog position completely flat on the ground, then perhaps. But most people would need to have a heel to arch, or maybe heel to the ball of your foot or toe alignment. Okay? So showing you from reverse. It would be heel to arch or heel to toe. Let me show you from warrior one again. So backing up, coming from my warrior one, if I were to open up, I would have to really move. Okay? So that's what we're going to try to avoid. Alright? So if a teacher does have you perform that, go from a warrior one to a warrior two, just understand that you really need to move and adjust your body. You need to move that back foot, that back leg. You probably need to move that front foot and that front leg. Okay? So let's take a large step back with our right foot. From here, we're going to spin on the ball of that foot until that foot is completely in line with the back of our mat. It's parallel. From here, let's open up. Pull yourself open with the right and extend both arms out to a T. You may need to heel toe this left foot in line with the ball or in line with the arch of your foot. Okay? Now, coming into our warrior two. Sometimes people will lean forward a little bit, but your hips, pay attention to your hips. In warrior two, it's almost as if you're sitting on the ground, or you're sitting on a block, in which these hips are nice and neutral. Your bowl. I've used a bowl before. So you want to make sure you're not spilling water out of your bowl. You're not spilling water onto this left leg. The bowl is nice and neutral, nice and flat. So anytime we move in our warrior two, that bum under, press this knee out towards your pinky toe. Make sure this leg is nice and zipped up and straight. Your knees are in line, going the same direction as your toes. Our arms are extended out to a T. This bowl is nice and neutral. So, Bettina, what about when we do reverse or humble warrior? Yes, you're still in this position. The only thing that's moving is your upper body. So you would flip the palm over, reach forward. My upper body's moving, not my hips. I didn't tilt my hips. My upper body is moving. And then I'm painting the ceiling coming back, coming into that humble warrior. Hips are still the same, just the upper body that's moving. Okay? Same thing with the extended side angle. Hips are remaining the same. I just drop this arm down, reach this arm either parallel or over, not tilting the hips. If you want to get low, sometimes people really try to bind. You may see people kind of reach over, get their hips up, but they can grab here. No. Keep the bowl nice and neutral. If you really want to go for the bind, deepen that knee, because that'll lower yourself. It'll lower your center of gravity and allow you to be able to reach under there a little bit more. Okay? Let's come up and let's do the other side. So now we talked a lot on the right side, but we got to do the same thing on the left. So go ahead and take this left leg, take a nice step back, spin that heel down. Okay? So that way it is parallel to the back of your mat. Pull yourself open. You see, I automatically just kind of heel toe wiggle myself to make sure that my heel is in line with my arch or the ball. Extend those arms out to a T. Press those hips forward and that knee up. Make sure it's pressing out towards the pinky toe. So you should always be able to see that big toe on the inside of your knee. Okay? Showing you from this side. Again, understanding that your hips may be a little bit more open on one side than the other. That's okay. Just still remember your bowl. Remember not to try to spill that bowl over onto this right leg. Try to make sure it's not spilling down in front of you as well. Okay? Sometimes people tend to sit back into their hips and poke their bum out. Try to make sure those hips are pressed forward and that your bowl is nice and neutral. Good. Extending these arms out to a T. We're going to hold here. If you feel it on this side, then yes, absolutely. You may not. Good. So we did flip the palm and reach forward if you want to see what that feels like. We did paint the sky, come back if you want to see what that feels like. Good. Come back. And then let's stand right on up. You can heel toe your feet back together to come to standing. Add it on. So coming into our warrior pose, let's go ahead and take a nice large step back with the right leg. Send that heel down about a 45-degree kind of to start. And then really open, make sure it is at 90 degrees. So it's parallel to the back of your mat. Extending your arms out to a T. Pressing that front knee out towards the pinky toe. Making sure you have a nice neutral bowl. Good. So from here, I want you to make sure you lift through both sides. Okay. So we're going to flip that left palm over. Inhale as you reach, see if you can reach my fingers. Reach for my fingers. Exhale as you paint the sky. So allowing this upper body to curve to the side. It's not a back bend, it's really a side. Pull this right shoulder back. So sometimes you may find yourself crunching down. Find length through both sides. I always like to tell people, try looking up at that extended arm, but then also try looking down at that back leg. By looking down, are you noticing, hey, I'm kind of crunching over. I need to find length in both sides. Good. Wherever you are, begin to come back to neutral. Just straighten this left leg. Turn it parallel, and then heel toe your feet to come back to center. Other side, to the left. Stepping the left leg back, nice and long, steep stance. Go ahead and spin on that heel, and then open yourself, pull yourself open to the left. Heel toe those feet so that we feel nice and comfortable. Nice neutral bowl. Extend both arms out to a T. Paying attention to your body. Where is that right knee? What is that right knee doing? If you look down, can you see the big toe? Are you pressing that right knee out towards that pinky toe? Out towards your right pinky toe. Now this left leg, what is the left leg doing? Is it parallel to the back of your mat? Are your knees going the same direction as your toes? Good. From here, let's begin to flip the right palm over. Reach forward just with the upper body. Inhale here, exhale as you paint the sky. Coming into our humble warrior. Remembering this left side. Letting the shoulder just relax. Letting this left arm just relax as well. Pressing the hips forward. Sometimes you'll find people finding a bind. But if you find the bind, be careful not to stick the bum out to reach the arm around. Okay, still keep those hips pressed forward. If you looked up, see if you can look down at that left leg. What is that left leg doing down there? Inhale as we rise back up through center. And then straighten this right leg. Turn it parallel on the heel. And then heel toe your feet in. Good, we come to stand. We can do a time check. Okay, awesome. So we have about 15 minutes left in class. If you had any questions about Warrior 1 and Warrior 2, definitely let me know. Post your comments, send us a message and we'll definitely answer, we'll answer your questions for you. Because that is a lot of different placement of the hips. And it may feel uncomfortable. You may be like, hey Bettina, this isn't something that I'm used to doing. But knowing is half the battle. Because we should know where our body should be in different asanas. Because then we get the benefits of what the asana really is trying to deliver. All right, so now that our hips are open, let's go to a balanced posture. So you can either come on your mat, you can come off your mat if you like. I always love to find a friendly wall. Our walls are a little far away from me for now, so that's okay. We're going to come to a tree pose. Tree pose. For some, it may be super easy, it may be super simple. For others, it could be challenging. So coming through our grounding, our foundational pose of Tadasana. I want you to feel the weight distribution on each foot. So sway from side to side, left to right, right to left. Now front to back. Good. Having a slight micro bend to your knees, micro bend to your knees. So that way you're able to activate. Press these hips forward, not too far forward. I'm not trying to get you to tuck under, but make sure you have that neutral bowl. Let's shift our weight ever so slightly over to the right side, not leaning toward pizza, just a slight shift to the right side. Good. Finding your visual focal point. Don't watch me because I may fall. But finding your visual focal point, or your dristi, as we say in Sanskrit. Shift your weight to the right side. Let's come to the ball of the left. Now our hips should be open, so just open up this left knee. We're not twisting here. Keep this right knee in line with the right toes. No twisting. Open the hip up, open the knee up as far as it will go. From here, you're going to take your left ankle, your left heel, place it on your right ankle. This can be kind of a kickstand. This is your tree pose. Good. From here, let's inhale as we extend both arms out to a T. If you choose, feel free to stay here. If you like, you can find something a little further. You can take this left foot, place it on the calf. Option to stay here as you stand up nice and tall. I'm lifting you by the crown of your head with strength. Option to stay here. Option to lift up this left leg, grab the foot, place it on the inside of the thigh. Make sure your bowl is nice and flat. So we're never, ever, ever on the knee. You're always either below the knee or above the knee. I'm going to come back to below the knee. And I fell. So good, wherever you are. Stand up just a little bit tall. And now let's go ahead and close this left leg and release the left root down to the ground. Release your hands down to the ground. And let's kind of pedal that out. Because sometimes you're standing on one leg, on one root, and we'll really start to activate. You may feel it in your arch, you may feel it in your calf. So perhaps that's something you should really try to do more often, especially when you're washing dishes or brushing your teeth or on the phone. Other side, let's go ahead and sway right to left, left to right, finding our balance, finding our middle ground and our center. Shift your weight ever so slightly to the left. Come to the ball of the right, open the right knee, right hip. Take this right heel and place it on the left ankle. Good. From here, extend your arms out to a T as you stand up nice and tall. So what you did on one side, try to do on the other side as well for equality. So if you stayed here, wonderful. If you brought this foot to your calf, wonderful. If you decided to lift the leg up, place it on the inside of the thigh, wonderful. Whatever you do, make sure you try to keep your bowl nice and neutral. Now you may find one balance is better on one side than the other. That's okay. Stand up just a little bit taller. And close this right knee. And release your right root down to the ground. Release your hands down to the ground as well. Good. Let's come to seated. Good. From here, let's extend our legs out nice and long in front of us. Flexing your toes, sitting up nice and tall on your own merit. Inhale as you reach both arms up high to the sky. Exhale as you hinge. Reach towards me, reach towards me. Remember that long back that we did earlier. Let's have a long back now. Inhale as you rise back up to sitting. Exhale your hands down to your sides. Good. We're going to come to our favorite posture, Shavasana. We're working our way there. So let's inhale as we reach both arms up high to the sky. Exhale as we begin to roll our spines down. So rolling down for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Feel free to rock from side to side. Extending your arms out to a T. Inhale here. Exhale as you drop both knees over to the right side. Trying to keep that left shoulder connected to the ground. If this is too much, then feel free to separate your knees. Option to look over towards that left side. Palms can be down or palms can be facing the sky. Whatever works, whatever's comfortable. On your next inhale, begin to rise back through center. Bring both knees back through center. Exhale as you twist and open to the left. Keeping this right shoulder connected to the ground. Again, option to separate your knees if that's more comfortable. On your next inhale, begin to come back through center. Good. Place both heels down on the ground. Have them as close to your bum as you can get them. See if you can almost kind of reach the tops, reach your heels with the tops of your fingertips. Keeping your knees in line with your heels and your hips. Pressing your entire foot into the ground. Press your palms into the ground also. Preparing for our bridge. Let's inhale as we lift your hips up high to the sky. Making sure those knees don't sway open. Beginning with your upper back, your upper body. Slowly roll and lower each vertebrae down to the mat. Down to the mat. Until your hips are the last to come down. Good. Extend both legs overhead for a waterfall. And as though you're walking on the ceiling, go ahead and walk. Pedal your legs out. Slowly begin to place your feet down on the ground, about mats with distance. Ever so gently rock your legs right and left as you slowly rock your legs straight, coming into your Shavasana. Our final pose, our final posture of the day. If you choose, you can close your eyes as we rest in our Shavasana. Coming back to the intention that you set for yourself at the start of class. Allow yourself to relax. Allow yourself to breathe. Feel your ribs expand beneath you. Feel your belly rise and fall. Continuing to breathe in our Shavasana. Taking this time for yourself. Time that you deserve. Coming back to our breath and focusing on our breath. Let's find 10 breaths here, 10 full inhalations and exhalations. Breathing slowly. Breathing slowly. inhale, both arms overhead nice and long for this long stretch. Maybe reaching right and left to right. Maybe pointing and flexing your feet. Maybe rotating your wrists during your cake batter. And reversing. A nice good inhale here, and upon your exhale, bring both knees into your chest and give yourself a hug. Squeeze yourself nice and tight, and then relax. Perhaps bringing your forehead to your knees if that feels comfortable for you. Inhale here, and upon your exhale, roll to a side of choice, either your right or your left. Using your bottom arm to support your head, resting that top arm either on your side or perhaps in front of your belly. Continuing to breathe here. Nice large inhale, and then upon your exhale, slowly use that top hand to push yourself up as you walk yourself up, coming into a comfortable seated position. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's inhale, reach both arms up high to the sky, palms up, gaze may come up. Exhale, palms down, press down. One more time, inhale, reach both palms up high to the sky, palms up, gaze may come up. Reach palms together as you exhale and bring both hands to heart center, pressing those thumbs into your chest, into your sternum. So again, my name is Bettina Lee, and this has been Yoga Fundamentals. Thank you so much for sharing in your practice with me this evening. I look forward to practicing with you some more. The love and light in me is truly honors and is grateful and is thankful for the love and light in you. Namaste.